And how important, I'm sure you've clearly seen an importance of having a co-founder in previous
Yeah.
business endeavors. How important is it for you to have a co-founder by your side rather than going alone?
Yeah, so some people may say, "Oh, I've had a bad experience. I don't want to have any co-founder, or I want to be very hard on myself and be very hard with whoever is gonna be my next co-founder. I'm not gonna give anybody a chance." But for me, was more of like understanding. Okay, where did I go wrong? Where did they go wrong?
Mm-hmm.
And draw some. I would say be fair with it. Like, don't just be very hard on anybody that will come on my way. So I had already set in my mind, like, look, I'm very strong in terms of branding, design, the packaging I do it myself, the design I do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
So that saves a lot of money.
It does.
Marketing in wise, I'm the one who takes care of the marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, when it comes to sales and numbers,
Yeah. That's not you.
finance, that's not me, man. I'm not good at that. I'm not good in maths. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's something I've still tried to improve, because that is something you have to have.
Mhm.
When you pitching, you have to talk about numbers. You
Yeah.
can't hide,
You
and
can't
especially
hide,
if
yeah.
you are the CEO.
It's
Come
true.
on,
It's
you have
true.
to show that. You can't just tell the investor, I don't know what I don't know the numbers. But
happens a lot in Dragons Den, though.
exactly. So I was like, no, I need to be able to, my strengths. I know what is my strength. My weaknesses, I need to find someone who can help me in doing this. So Claudio was someone I was working with. And we were also going to the same college at the time. But to be honest, we didn't talk about business. At that time, I was doing Ooze Drinks. We didn't talk about business, nothing, never. At some point, we ended up working together in Tesco. And he kept on telling me, "Oh, Giuseppe, well done, man. I see you are doing this Ooze Drinks. Well
Yeah.
done. And then he started uni. I was going to uni. We lost each other at some point. And then I remember in 2018, he contacted me. "Hey, Giuseppe, like, I saw you are doing a lot of stuff. I want us to meet up." And Gusto hasn't even, to be honest, hasn't even been registered as a business, nothing. Like, I was pretty much just working on a bit of packaging and here and there. I didn't even have a name at that time.
Yeah.
So I meet Claudio, I remember, in Stratford, and he was like, we were just talking, and he was going through as well in certain things in his own life. He was down completely as well. Everybody had their own problems at that time.
Yeah.
So he's like, we're talking, and he's like, "I want to learn from you, man. Like, this business you were doing Ooze." And I told him, "Listen, Ooze Drinks is no more." And I was explaining him about how me and my business partners have split and this and that and the whole journey. And he's like, "Wow, I thought you were doing good for yourself." I said, "Well, listen, it's a journey." So he's like, "So what's next?" And I said, "Look, I'm working on this thing. I don't even have a name for it, but I don't want you to be like my just someone who is learning. I know you are very good in sales. You're studying. He was studying sports management, but he was also working for a sales company.
Sales company, yeah.
So I said, "Claudio, listen, let's work together. I don't know your skill sets yet, but as we go in together, we all gonna learn together and see how this one goes." And then I asked him, "I've worked on the packaging. How would you call this brand?" And he said, "Gusto." So I said, "Cool. Let's call
just
it
like
Gusto."
is that how the name came about? Just like that.
Yeah. And the reason why is because Gusto in Italian means taste. And he was thinking about the fact that the fruits are going to waste.
Yeah.
But these fruits are still edible. They are good. So he wanted to call them Gusto. And we said, okay, a touch of Italian to it.
I love it. That's perfect. See how God works, man. Bringing another Italian Ghanaian brother your way. And you both think the same way, both going through a similar path. And your paths just crossed. Your paths departed, but your paths crossed again. It's amazing. It's such an amazing story. Wow. So that's how you got the name. And then regarding the brand as well. So I know you focus a lot around sustainability, upcycling fruits.
Yeah.
Sustainability is huge talking point at the moment. It's a hot topic right
Massive.
now. it's from a climate perspective, from food perspective, waste perspective, so many different perspectives. And then you also mentioned wonky fruit in your brand is something that you guys use. What's a wonky fruit?
So wonky fruit is basically misshapen fruit. Fruit that has different shapes, or different sizes. That's how we call it wonky fruit.
Okay.
It's all, the shape is very funny.
Yeah.
I think some of the supermarkets started trying to sell them.
Yeah.
But again, I think that was just scaring people off, because you have an apple that have three hands poking out, things like that.
Yeah.
These are all from nature, but, unfortunately, people don't buy them.
Yeah. Okay. And then with this brand as well, tell me through the process. I mean, how hard was it for you to kind of like get your brand out there, get into supermarkets? Because I've seen various guerrilla marketing campaigns you guys have been doing outside Selvages with the signs.
There is more coming.
I love it. But then also at the same time, you've ended up on JC.
JC the Cox.
That's it. Yeah, billboards, all over the place as well. And there's one that I like. There's one I'm sure now I realize that you're probably the one behind this concept where there's a board. I think this is real, right? It's on the Instagram, right? And then it goes, a very serious official statement. A group of very naughty people reported to our bosses that our good looks are not good enough. We argued with our bosses, pleaded, and even threw in the wonky fruit argument. Because clearly looks don't matter. It's not a beauty contest, right? Well, they didn't give an F. Brackets fruit. So after several months of breaking our, of course, and has an apple and looks like a butt, right? Breaking our butt. Yeah, it's clever. We finally come out with something that will get all of the full-time gospels to talk about our looks. I just want to say I love the branding and the copy behind your company. I'm sure you and your team come up with that. It's fantastic.
So
fantastic
I mean, the idea is that to be fun with it. Sustainability is a big topic, but you have to be able to play around with it for customers to understand. So that is what we want to focus on when it comes to Gusto snacks. We don't want to be a brand that is very quiet. We don't want to do things. Everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody is marketing. Oh, buy my product, buy my product. But those that really do things differently, unconventional marketing, is, we stand out. And especially a startup that doesn't have big budgets to play around with, you have to be creative, So things like real fruits comes in all shapes and sizes. We love all the curves and all the edges. Things like this really are catchy, So these are the things we play around with. And to answer your question, how did we really start? As I said, because of my previous experience, I told Claudio, listen, we have to start and look for grants. There is a lot of free money around the country for startups and for innovative projects. So let's look for them. Claudio applied for the Shell competition. He won the competition. And again, that is to show I previously got the funding for a previous business, and then they also supported this one, which I was behind it, supporting Claudio to raise funds. And then we go, I would say in total for Gusto, we raised about 20,000 in grants.
Wow.
To start.
It's not bad.
And that all because of Ooze Drinks.
It's more than 5K, isn't it?
Exactly, I realized that, okay, we can actually, if we push ourselves, we'll be able to do that. So once we got all that funds, we started looking for a manufacturer. And a good thing is that Claudio also, you see, when I talk about a chain of connections, I met Claudio. Claudio also brought in another person who is called Aubrey. He's Ghanaian.
Yeah.
He's Italian as well. I mean, he speaks Italian. I have to ask him if he was born in Italy or not. But, he was in Italy. He worked for Philip Morris.
Okay.
So he's a manager in Philip Morris. He's so intelligent, this guy. Like, he brought in the structure, company structure.
Wow.
Yeah, like, guys, don't do this, don't do that, don't play with this. He was on the financial side of the business.
Yeah.
Claudio is on the sales, and this guy is pure finance and business strategy, and also when it comes to negotiating, he knows how to talk.
Yeah.
So I said, perfect, man. I can just focus on pushing the business when it comes to branding, marketing, and things like that. When it comes to sales, Claudio is there.
Yeah.
And then we have Aubrey, who is bringing that corporate, experience to get us to, don't do things wayward, like anyhow. You do this, you do that. So he is on our finance, and that is what really set up. We had the perfect combination of young black founders that are just ready to conquer the food industry. We were so excited. We are still excited, and we said, okay, let's launch the product with a small amount. So we started with 10,000 units, and that was 2020, just after the pandemic.
Ooh.
So we was wondering, should we launch this product now? Because supermarkets are closed. Supermarkets are closed. Our website, you have to inject in so much money to be able to, a lot of things are going on online. So how do we launch it? And we said, you know what? In December 2020, we said, let's just go, man. Let's just launch it because we have 10,000 units to sell. And, we started working with subscription boxes online initially.
It's clever.
We started small, and at that time, the COVID restrictions were being eased. So slowly we started talking with independent retailers and testing the product here. And then we were able to sell all of the 10,000 units that year. And then we said, okay, now let's try and push it further, But it was tough. It was tough because it's not as straightforward as, I'm going to Selfridges, or I'm going to W.A. Smith, or I'm going to Tesco to tell them, hey, this is my product. Do you like it or you don't like it? It's just not straightforward like that. Like, it's a long process.
I'm sure it's a long process for sure. Wow. But we will touch upon that very, very briefly. I'm just very curious and interested to learn from you. So, round 2, this time seems to be working. But looks like this time is different. You've brought on a co-founder who seems to be getting on a lot better with you, but also there seems to be a lot more structure, more systems, departments, and a lot more, I'll say, maybe more talented people around you, if I'm correct, right? How's it been different with this business compared to the last business? Is this been the difference maker, having a more reliable co-founder, or not even reliable, but someone that you get on better with and having more structure? Is that the difference between both businesses?
I would say it's good you mentioned reliable. It was a good word. Yeah, he's reliable.
Yeah.
One thing about us is that we trust each other. I trust Claudio like 100%.
Wow.
The guy can just go around and just, he's like, everybody knows Claudio. It says he can sell you stones, literally, He is like, that person that goes in 100%. And one thing I loved about Claudio is that he just loved Gusto as much as I love it.
So that's important.
That is what makes the difference.
Yeah.
And also, I trust Aubrey, the other co-founder, and Claudio when they work together. At times, they will be having their meeting about pricing here and there. I know that they will deliver. All I have to do as well is we meet up, discuss about it, and hey, let's go. Yeah, I love this. I love that, And the thing is that we all respect each other in a sense that, okay, we have roles. I'm the CEO, you are the CEO. Aubrey is more of an advisor, but he has shares in the company.
Yeah.
But we respect each other so much, and in a sense that nobody is less than the other. We know our roles, and so that's why I was saying it's good as a founder and a co-founder to be able to set the tone from the beginning. We do things properly, and we do things based on, for the company. You don't just do things anyhow. And I will say again, trust is number 1, transparency number 2, and 3, I would say also honesty. Like, be honest. Don't feel like, I think with us we have a culture whereby we are all very honest with each other, and nobody is scared to speak because we don't take offense. If I scrutinize you, it's not because I'm saying, no, you didn't do this properly, because because I hate you or anything. No, it's for the betterment of Gusto Snacks. Same for me. I am the CEO. That doesn't mean I'll be walking around and just saying whatever I want and doing whatever I want and putting pressure on people to just do, just because, oh, I feel like I'm the boss. Listen, no, it doesn't work like that. So I think that sort of culture is what I love. And one thing I love about myself is that although I had some experience in my previous startup, I allow Claudio to be himself, like without putting pressure on him. I'm not gonna lie, I had some, like I was a bit scared as well. Oh, will this go left? But I trusted my gut to be like, okay, let me allow Claudio to also live the startup experience. He's gonna grow, but we are growing together, and I'm learning. But one thing I really love is allow him to, to understand the startup scene and be able to grow. And it was a good thing. I think that was one thing that I'm very proud about. Yeah,
that's an amazing story right there, and I think you've just outlined what a good co-founder looks like. Someone you can trust, someone that can be transparent with you, someone that's honest and reliable.
Yeah,
I think those 4 things are key. And I like the fact about, you see everyone, sees each other the same level. Yes, you may have different roles and different high seniority, but everyone sees each other in the same level. And I think what I like about that is that I think it creates a culture where companies can thrive and grow together quicker. Like the other day, I watched a video of Elon Musk. I don't know how I stumbled upon it on YouTube. Elon Musk at SpaceX office. This was maybe 2009. He's walking around this office, and Giuseppe, you see all of these staff members, all of the offices literally look exactly the same. Oh, this is where the CEO sits. This is the CEO office. Everyone's literally just the same. It's like an open space working environment.
I think I saw that.
You saw that video, yeah? Everyone's like in the same level essentially. Yes, someone might have the CEO title, someone may not, but everyone's essentially the same level. And when you have that kind of culture, I think Bloomberg is similar. When you have that kind of culture as well, I think it just makes people feel valued 100%. And equal.
Yeah, like I think in Africa they do a lot of that. Sorry for my fellow Africans, but hey, I think they do a lot of that. You see the building and the top, the CEO is at the top. You are at the top doing what? What is your company doing? You don't even know what is going on at the bottom, So I love what you're saying that, for example, Elon Musk, everything was on the same floor. He's going around. Everybody knows him. He will be greeting everybody. I don't think you don't gain anything by being so proud about yourself in terms of like, I'm above everybody, so, everybody should be scared about me.
Yeah.
The goal is not to being scared. The goal is to grow the company. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for me, I always love to work with people who challenge me and that even they are better than me. I will never, if we were to get someone to come on board to run the marketing, I want someone who just kill it more than me, to be honest.
True.
That is what I love. And I will be working with that person to be able to grow and be at their same level, to be able to work together, properly. Not that I'm sitting down and they are just killing themselves for the business, So.
Yeah. I think that's key. I think in terms of talent and recruiting, I think it's always important to find someone who knows more about a specific area than you do, and them having the expertise, because that person can really take the company to where it needs to go.
Yeah.
Someone that has more knowledge than you, let's say. Giuseppe, this is a really good conversation. I want to transition into just the food industry. What is it about food waste and food beverage? I mean, your first business was drinks, and this one's food. What is it about food, beverage, drinks that stands out to you? Sorry.
So I would say, also, you mean comparing the two?
Yeah, I mean, what is it that appealed for you to go into that industry?
Okay.
Like, what appeals to you?
I think the packaging, first of all, because obviously I'm a product design. So I love branding.
Yeah.
I love branding so much.
Yeah.
And obviously in university, that is the kind of thing that I started getting into. I taught myself how to use all the platforms. I mean, all the applications such as Photoshop, Illustrator.
Yeah.
All
Adobe
of this
Creative
stuff.
Suite, yeah.
Exactly. I learned in uni, in university they had the free software.
Yeah.
I was using it crazy. At some point my teachers were like, yo, this presentation is like professional level, man. So so even at some point, in uni for me, I thought, okay, I think I've passed the uni level at the moment. But I think branding, but also dealing with products when it comes to product development.
Yeah.
I love food, but I love also the process of creating, for example, the drinks, creating that product that someone would drink, and I'm like, wow, people are actually eating my product. People are actually drinking my product. So that is what actually pushed me to say, okay, I think this industry for me, and now seeing my product on shelves, I'm like, man, this is people actually buying my product from Amazon, giving reviews, good or bad. I love it because I'm like, this is my dream, getting people to buy my product. So, and also one thing I would say is that I think it's just also manufacturing, like the process of one day I'm gonna say I want to own a manufacturing site.
Why not?
Whether in Ghana or here, having a manufacturing, just seeing these machines automatically packing, these products and things like that. It's something that intrigues me.
Yeah.
So that is what pushed me into, the food business, really.
Wow. Yeah, I know some people who are manufacturing. I know some people are setting up some manufacturing factories and plants in Ghana. Maybe that's a conversation we can have in the future when you want to go there. But yeah, it's a beautiful full circle moment just to see your products available on some of the, stocked in some of the biggest distributors and stockists out there in the world, Amazon, Selfridges, WH Smith, etc. And yeah, I think you picked the right industry. Sustainability is hot. I think we're entering into a day and an age where carbon net zero, things like that, is going to be the thing of the future.
Yeah.
And being able to upcycle food waste and turn into something sustainable and usable again, I think it's going to be very, very, very key.
100%. And one thing is that sometimes, customers don't see the difference between a big company and a startup. For them, you are selling food from going to waste. Why is your packaging still plastic?
Yeah.
But they don't understand that we are saving fruit from going to waste. Yeah. We also need a reliable packaging to store the product. If not, our product will just go to waste again for no reason, So we, at the moment, for our packaging, we are working on finding alternative packaging, but biodegradable packaging at the moment is still very young in the industry. So the manufacturers told us, listen, let's be honest with you, even if you come and buy biodegradable packaging, your shelf life will be cut like in half. Our products at the moment last like 1 year, 8 months.
Wow.
But they will say it will slash it completely.
Really?
It will probably be 3 or 4 months.
Oh my gosh.
So we're like, wow, okay, this is not for us at the moment. So as a startup, you also, although you are talking about sustainability, you have to also understand how, you're going to deal with these things.
Yeah.
You can't just go all out.
Yeah.
Because not everything is viable at the moment. I believe once we get to a certain stage, in terms of revenue, in terms of, in terms of company size, we'll be able to have enough budget to say, okay, let's invest more into packaging now.
Yeah.
Now, we have been able to, how can I say, conquer the territory of food waste. Now let's focus on, something else. Because even to deal with the farmers is another story as well.
Yeah.
And we are always transparent with this. Our products, we use wonky fruits, but it's not 100%. It's about 15% in the pack.
Okay.
And that is because wonky fruits is not always available. It's also difficult to deal with, the manufacturing side of it. Not every fruit our manufacturer is able to get. So because we don't have complete control of the supply chain.
Yeah.
We are still very small. So what we can save is what we save at the moment. So for us, Gusto Snack, at the moment, the idea is that once we grow as a company, then we'll be able to have a certain section of the company completely specialized on going to the farm level to be able to sort all of this issue.
Yeah.
Another group will be focusing on just manufacturing. At the moment, it's just me, Claudio, and my other business partner, and some freelancers who work with us. Really.
Okay, it's a small team, still a small team
small
at the
team.
moment. But you're doing big things.
100%.
Let's not despise the small beginnings, as the Bible says. So you're doing big things. So keep at it. Before we bring this to a close, I want you to talk me through the product. So I love the packaging, the design, the branding. I'm holding apple crisps with mango twist, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful product. Talk me through the target market. Who is this product aimed at? Like, who is it for? Tell me about the product.
So we were thinking about, a lot of people talk about kids eating fruits. When it comes to fruit products, this is for kids. But then when you look at the statistics, adults don't eat much of fruit, and unfortunately, parents are the reflection of their kids. So as a parent, if you are not having that culture in your home whereby you eat regularly fruits, of course your kids will be eating fried potato chips every day. You know what I mean? So for us, we want to, as a business, we want to target adults. That's why the packaging is not kids-like. It's more of like channeled towards adults, and be able also to influence their kids as well. So we have a lot of busy moms buying our products for their kids for school. As I've said, we have launched in many offices, so targeting, the offices or the professional space.
Yeah, you mentioned Bloomberg and Google.
Exactly,
fantastic.
the young adults, and also universities, Gen Zs, students in unis, and fitness enthusiasts.
Yeah,
people who go to gym. I'm someone who goes to gym as well.
Nice.
So as a healthy sugar snacking for a start, I eat Gusu snacks, for example.
You eat your own snacks as well, isn't it?
Exactly. I eat my own snacks. It works for me to have that boost to start training. So instead of, eating, I remember I was at the gym and someone was eating Haribos.
Okay.
And I'm like, man, come on, man. I had to go and advertise my product. I just say, you know what? If you want to have some sugar boost, stop eating this crap. At least eat some fruits, So, that's the demographic. But the idea for us is really to, we want adults to feel kids again.
Yeah.
Eat some fruits, 1 of your 5 a day. And then if you have kids, that is also a great way to, get them to eat some fruits as well.
Brilliant. It's a fantastic product inside and out. Giuseppe, you've done a fantastic job. Any plans, so at the moment it's just in the UK, just being sold in the UK? Is it sold internationally as well?
We are in Germany as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we launched in Germany this year, testing the ground. And we use Amazon to go through Germany because Amazon is our biggest market at the moment. And then we are hopefully planning to go to Netherlands and Belgium next year, January, to see some of the buyers. And I mean, our plan is to really be able to get into Europe as much as possible because they are also very familiar with dried fruits.
Yes.
So that is the plan.
Italy?
Italy, we would love to go there, but the market is tough.
It's tough.
Italy,
for this type of product.
Yeah, Italy, they are not very familiar with startups. Okay. There is a lot of manufacturers, but they are family generation owned. They have their roots is like 1800, things like that. Exactly. So and they are very traditional when it comes to. They are very loyal to certain products.
It's true.
So I would say Innocent, for example, they were in Italy. I think they have drawn out for Italy.
They exit the market.
Yeah, it's a very tough market. Also the government is not as friendly as the UK. So as you can see, the UK there is a lot of startup coming up. In Italy, I wouldn't have never had the opportunity to open a startup. Impossible. Yeah. And, as a black person, first of all, and it's a tough place. So I would say for us, I would say the USA probably will come at some point because it's a massive market. Huge. But again, going into a big market like the USA, you have to be very prepared because if you go there unprepared, you're going to waste your money. So, yeah.
Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Just a very quick announcement once again. Now, if you enjoy this episode and you want to get the latest episodes straight to your inbox, we have a brand new weekly newsletter where you'll be able to get the latest podcast updates. You learn about our upcoming events, exclusive offers, opportunities, and so much more. Please do visit www.thesoundofaccra.com/newsletter, or just check the link in the description below, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on the podcast place.